Hey everyone, I'm Jordan with Jordan Plays Blue. I haven't reviewed a game in a while, so I wanted to review a game. This is Echoes. This is a mystery audio style game. This is a new one, new series from Ravensburger, and this one is called The Dancer. This is the only one in the series I've played. Now, the way that this game works, it is going to use an app similar to maybe a Chronicles of Crime type game, and so you're going to be using the app and you're going to be taking pictures of these photo cards, and these cards have different illustrations on them, and they're going to be different items or different things that you might be finding in this story. And in this one you're given a story about I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but you're given a story about a girl who's going to die, and you're trying to kind of see what led up to her death. And so these different items are going to, it might be some shoes, it might be a ticket to somewhere, it might be a letter of some sort or a figurine, things like that. And you're going to have these items, cards, and you're going to have half the cards at the beginning of the game. Some of the cards are cardboard, some of the cards are just kind of cards, and you're going to have the cardboard ones are going to be kind of checkpoints in the game, and so each of those checkpoints is going to be followed by 3 regular cards, and then a checkpoint, and then 3 regular cards, and then a checkpoint, that kind of thing. And so you have half of them at the beginning of the game, and then once you've completed that half, you get the second half of the game, second half of the cards. And you're trying to solve these mini chapters, and then as you're solving those mini chapters, when it's all done, you're going to put the chapters in order, and you're trying to figure out the timeline of what happens. You're getting little bits of information. So whenever you have these cards and these checkpoints, you're going to take a scan of it on your phone or tablet or whatever, and it's going to play an audio clip. And the audio clip could be, I don't know, somebody walking in the rain, or it could be somebody talking to somebody else. You might overhear part of a conversation, or you might hear music and that kind of thing. And so as you're listening to these clips, you're putting them together. So maybe these 3 all have the same background music, so they must go together. Or this one kind of has rain going, but then it kind of stops raining halfway through the clip, and then you hear a door open, and maybe that. So you're trying to put those together, and then once you put those sets together, you're going to scan it and check to see if you're right. Yes, those 3 go together, and what is the order of those? And then once it's all said and done, you're going to take those chapters and see how the story is going to progress and go. Now, see how those things go. So what did I like about it? So I think this Echo series, and I've only played this one, but I'm assuming they're all have a similar kind of cadence to it. But one, creativity is incredible. I think this is a really interesting way to play one of these games with these audio clips and putting them together. I think that the whole idea behind it is really interesting. I think it is really cool, and just a twist kind of on that. It's different than some of the others that are kind of, Unlock has an app, but it's more card-based. Detective, of course, is card-based. The exit games, you're like manipulating things more physical kind of stuff. This one is it's audio driven, which is really cool. I really enjoy that. However, I think it does fall short. It fell short for us. And of course, this one also can only be played once, so I can't go back and keep trying it again. But it fell short for us for a couple reasons. One, I think the app was it didn't always identify the cards right away, especially if you have like multiple cards in the frame. Like if you have to be really tight on the card, and it might not always recognize it right away. So that it was a little difficult, especially if you have you're trying to put these cards in order, so you don't want to constantly move a card out of the way, take a picture, and move it back. Yes, there might be another card next to it, and that was a little frustrating. That I don't know, it was hard to quite get the card in the frame to play. And then it felt a little monotonous to have to keep replaying the audio clips over and over again. So these 3 all have, I don't know, the same song playing in the background. I don't know if they're at somewhere, and so a restaurant or something, and it's playing music in the background. So you're like, these 3 go together, but then you have to listen to this clip, which is 3 seconds long, and then this clip is 10 seconds long. You're like, wait, what did she say in that clip? You have to go back to the 3-second one and then go back to this one. And I don't know, I think it's the audio aspect, which is cool, like in concept, but in practice, it's hard to remember everything that happens in a clip like that, especially when you're listening to so many of these clips throughout the game. It's hard to really grasp and where that is. And I think some of the clips were a little nebulous, where it's just somebody walking in the rain, or it's just like, it almost seems like background noise. And so the background noise could go here, could go here, could go here, could go between this card and this card, could go before this card. And it just felt like that was a little frustrating. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but sometimes you're like, okay, they go in this order, and they're like, nope. And you're like, okay, well, obviously the background sound card goes here. Nope, it goes here. Like that was the one that was wrong. So that was a little frustrating, but I think ultimately it was the monotony of having to keep listening to the same clips over and over again to try to suss out what goes. And I think that was supposed to be part of like the interesting part, like the gimmick of the game. And ultimately it just kind of pulled the game down for us and just how the game played. And then I think ultimately, just like the tone of this one, the dancer, and this one is 14 and up, clearly, because you are listening to, the mystery is how does somebody die, and you're actually listening to somebody up until their death, and it just feels uncomfortable. That's just a personal thing. I think some people wouldn't have a problem with that, but it just felt weird. But yeah, just felt weird for us. But that is Echoes the Dancer. This one is ultimately kind of a pass from us. I'm glad I'm glad I had the experience. I think one of these Echo games is fun, and I think it's cool for people to try out. But it's probably not one that it's not one that's grabbed us, and not one that I want to keep exploring like some of these other escape room style games or mystery style games. This one is interesting in concept, but I think was bogged down by some of just the way it had to work, So yeah, that's Echoes. I'm Jordan. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.